Hi, everyone. This is Tracy Malone, and today I have a really horrible topic to discuss. But I'm so tired of hearing this same story over and over. And these mothers get no support. And what I'm talking about here, and I'm not even sure what I'm going to talk about on this video, what's going to come out my mouth. I haven't planned this out. But what's happening is little babies under 5 are being sexually abused by their narcissistic dads. I'm not saying all of them. I just have about 5 of these cases right now. And the way that the system lets down these mothers and these children is heart-wrenching. It is just beyond fair, not fair. Like they are, the domestic violence world, which, I was a big part of it at the beginning of my journey. And I learned that the domestic violence world, while we think they're there to protect us, they often have no power to help us. And as much as they can support things afterwards, they're not stopping it. They're not necessarily, they don't have the tools or the system to stop something like this. So the police can be called in. And so great, we get the calls, we get the police, we get the child to a little therapist, and we get all of these things that we're told to do. And then the mother gets blamed. You're making this up. In fact, you're coaching the children to smack their girl parts and scream, dada bad, dada ouch, right? This is like the 5th time in about a month that I've heard this story, and it's horrific. And what does a mother do when their child, who is just a tiny little baby, is doing that? Capturing it on the family like baby monitor camera and going, honey, what are you doing it? And then getting blamed for it, that you were coaching the child. And then when you go to the doctor and they've got, like clear wounds and clear things that are physical on their bodies that are a sign of abuse, they blame the mother and say, you're teaching the child to insert their own finger into their bodily parts. This can't be true. He's so charming. And I'm sorry, guys, this isn't necessarily something women get accused of. If they are, I haven't had to deal with them. So I'm not saying this is a situation where fathers are abusing little girls, and it's not right and it's not fair. Then when they get into the courtroom or they get into a lawyer situation, they're like, well, it's one time and, we don't really have any proof and it's hearsay. If you said this and he says that, then, nothing's going to happen. So basically continue to let your child be abused. And while we're at it, let's give them 50% custody because, well, they are the father and they have rights. Where the hell are the rights for our children? We have so much on there, so much propaganda about protecting our children. Well, when it comes down to it, how the hell are they protecting our children if they will not address something like this? I had a client that was in another country, and this was happening to her little daughter, and she was a beautiful little 3-year-old. And she went through the system in that country and said, this is what's happening. And nobody listened, nobody cared, but it was increasingly getting worse. And there were physical things that were happening. And she had to get the child away from the father because the system wasn't helping her. And then she gets accused of kidnapping. And I haven't been able to find her in some time. I think they had her arrested. So it is just a frustrating thing. And I know that some of you may relate to this, and some of you are like, that is the most horrible thing I've ever heard. And I'm telling you, it really is the most horrible thing because there's nobody helping them. And I wish to God that there was someone that could help these women, these moms, and go, this is what you've got to do. Where's the domestic violence agencies in all of this? Why aren't they saying, we'll stand up for you? This happens all the time, very often. This is how the victim presents, and this and that, right? Why aren't they helping? Because they're overloaded. They don't have enough people to help victims. And so it's pick and choose. You got a black eye, we'll talk to you then. We'll get you shelter. These kind of things without the hearsay, and it's a little tiny baby. Anyway, It's Tracy Malone. That's all I wanted to say. It's really a terrible topic, and I'm sorry, but I'm so pissed off right now that I really wanted to make sure that this doesn't go unheard, that the mothers who might be going through this experience, just like my clients, know that they're not alone. And I wish I had a better answer. I wish I could say, do this A, B, and C. She's already done it. And then they turn around and blame her, right? So breathe, Tracy, breathe, Tracy. We'd like to save the world. We'd like to help everybody. And for moms that are going through this, never stop fighting. Even though they're trying to get you to stop fighting, to stop making these claims, document the hell out of everything. Make sure that you build enough evidence so that if you have to go back there, or if you get the opportunity to go back to court or call the police, you've got some heavy duty evidence and it won't be thrown out this time. So again, you'd think that would be enough, but it often isn't. Do your best. Don't give up. Don't acquiesce to this, because it's your child's future. And I've treated lots of adult people who were sexually abused as children. You don't want to have your kid being 35 and having to end up on a couch or unable to ever have their own relationships because of this. This is life-changing crap, even though they're under 5. Doesn't mean they won't remember. So take care of your babies. That's all I got. Tracy Malone, narcissistabusesupport.com. Sending you blessings if this is your life.